Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 7th day of July, 2022. I hope that this 7th day of July, this Thursday, 2022, in the middle of the summer, that you are healthy, your family's healthy and safe, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and the first responders who are always risking their lives to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks, highways, and parks clean. And those that make deliveries, the humble work for our convenience. Blessings and double blessings on the men and women trying to rescue and deliver the children who are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of prostitution and child prostitution. The victims of pornography and child pornography. The victims also of human trafficking and sex slavery, and double curses upon the perpetrators, the profiteers, and those perverts who traffic in this human misery on innocence. Finally, blessings upon the homeless, nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, as we're now entering a recession and things are going to get worse. Nearly 600,000 without roofs over their head living on the street, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom. Today is the day before the Knicks start their summer league. Now, a couple of things. A lot of y'all been asking me about Victor Wembanyama. I'm going to talk about him in August, probably as we get closer. Yes, he's a complete game changer. He's a generational talent. He's on that Luka, LeBron, Magic level. Of course, there's things we got to look soberly about him. We'll talk about that probably after the summer league. We'll go into him and all of these other guys, Scoop or whoever that's coming up for next year. I know all y'all are like Chris kids for Christmas. You're looking at the next new present and getting all excited because it's a new box with a ribbon on it. But we'll talk about Victor and we'll talk about Scoop and all of these people that are out here coming up next year. But just to let you know, Victor Wembanyama is that dude. You know, there's a couple of red flags that we need to discuss so that we can see, brethren. A lot of people in Knicks Nation, unfortunately, go into this thing with their eyes closed when, they start hyping. But this kid's talent is undeniable, and he is a generational talent. But there's some red flags we need to go through. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But the Summer League. Okay, the big question to me in the Summer League is Deuce McBride. He doesn't get a lot of coverage from the national media. Even people that follow the Knicks don't talk about him a lot. Deuce McBride is him and Mitchell Robinson are my two favorite Knicks. Okay, they're on the squad. They're my two favorite Knicks. They're wearing orange and blue. For those of us that actually pay attention closely, and I'm saying that I'm not trying to be negative, but there are a lot of people that are in Knicks Nation that just cursorily look at these things. They don't really deeply look, and they have strong opinions, though they don't look at it very strongly. I've been watching, I saw high school and college at West Virginia of Deuce McBride before he was drafted, along with Quentin Grimes, and I was very interested in Knicks getting both of them, as some of you recall, a year ago, and they did get both of them. Tom Thibodeau was high on both of these kids. That is both Quentin Grimes and Deuce McBride. He pushed to get both of them, and he did. Now, last year, I would have liked to have seen more minutes for Deuce, but with the whole Kemba, and then, of course, Tom's obsession with Alec Burks, and then there's still IQ, he wasn't seeing a lot of time. But I will say this, whether it's the NBA on the league level or in the G League, whenever Deuce McBride got significant minutes, and when I say significant, I mean 25 minutes or more in a game, he has always come through. He has always made a difference. He has always played well. Okay. So, again, whether it's G League or the NBA. In the NBA, he didn't get as many opportunities for that. There was the Houston game. But really, after that, there really wasn't a lot of games where he got anything 25 minutes or more. So it's hard for him to show. But when you see any game that he has played 25 minutes or more, he makes significant contributions on both ends of the basketball floor. And so here in Summer League, I'm expecting to see a lot of Deuce McBride, and I'm expecting him to perform. That's been what he's been doing. Now, what's going to happen once he does bust this out is people are going to be like, well, it's only Summer League. Well, this will be his second Summer League doing the same thing. And then, of course, you got the G League. And like I said, whatever time he was able to get. I don't know what's going to happen once he does play his butt off, which I'm fully expecting him to do in this summer league, to play his tail off, to show why I'm so high on him and why Tom Thibodeau pushed for him. Okay. Physically, he's about 6'1.5", almost 6'2", 6'9", 6'10" wingspan, hands like giant shovels, defensive demon. And he can shoot the rock. He just hasn't had the chance. It's like a lot of people was talking about Obi can't shoot, Obi can't shoot. Even media people, Obi can't shoot, but Obi wasn't getting the chance to get rhythm long enough to shoot. He wasn't that microwave dude coming off the bench that just comes out and starts lighting it up. But once he started getting the lather, getting the rhythm, getting the minutes, he could shoot. Deuce is the same. Deuce could shoot the rock. Okay. He can shoot. He could pass. Some people complain about his lack of, getting into the paint. He could do that too. He just needs minutes to show all that. Okay. He has it. It's all in the arsenal. He just needs the minutes. That's the problem. So he's going to get the minutes in the summer league. Okay. He's going to get the minutes in the summer league, but what happens in the regular, I don't know. Okay. And if this was a true, democratic, for lack of a better word, situation coming into training camp where you knew everybody was on a level slate and you could earn your minutes, I would be very confident that Deuce McBride would earn his minutes. Matter of fact, they asked D Rose, if you recall last year, about Deuce, and of course his real name, his given name is Miles McBride. So they said, what about Miles McBride? And D Rose said, Miles, who? And then they said Deuce. He said, oh, Deuce, Deuce. Deuce need to get more minutes is what D Rose was saying. Okay. Cause Deuce, that was during practice. He said, oh, we all know about Deuce. All right. So Tibbs has a problem. So let's talk about what could go forward. Let's say Deuce kills it in summer league. Him and Grimes just rock out, in summer league. You're going to start Jalen Brunson. He's your starting point guard. He's got the keys. He's going to run the team. Period. There's no speculation about this, y'all. People try to make conversation, I guess, to just make conversation because it's boring part of the year. There's no, it's not summer or whatever, but there's no speculation. The keys belong to Jalen Brunson. He got it as soon as he signed that contract. Done. Okay. What happens after that? I don't know. Now, you still got Derrick Rose. You still got Emmanuel Quickley. And I don't know what they're going to do. A lot of people whining, Rose got to play, Rose got to play, blah, 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 blah. The most important thing to me is playing our young players like Deuce. In other words, it's more important to me to play Deuce than it is Derrick Rose at 34. Derrick Rose I'm not saying, some of y'all get all emotional. I'm not saying he's not an effective basketball player at age 34. He still is. What I'm saying is he's past his time. It's Deuce time. And Derrick needs to be more of a mentor for Deuce McBride. Okay. Emmanuel Quickley, I believe, could play the point guard spot, but I don't think the Knicks believe that. Because if they did, last year would have been the year to do it. But there was this obsession with Alec Burks last year. If you put Emmanuel Quickley in those minutes where Alec Burks played, I believe we'd have won 5 more games. And I'm being conservative. I think we'd have won 5 more games. Just that change. You put Alec Burks in the second unit and you start Emmanuel Quickley at the point guard, we would have won more games. Okay? Period. But for some reason, between Tom Thibodeau and whoever makes decisions, they picture Emmanuel Quickley as a scorer in the second unit. That's what they picture him as. A second unit scorer. Coming out of Kentucky, it was, if you remember, some of y'all remember, it was very questionable as to what he was, because at Kentucky it was him and Tyrese Maxey, and Emmanuel Quickley was definitely a shooting guard in that combo. It was Maxey that was running the point. And it was Emmanuel Quickley. Quickley kept having to explain to media that in high school I was a point guard. I came here as a point guard, but he didn't become SEC Player of the Year as a point guard. He became SEC Player of the Year as a shooting guard. Okay, that's the deal. That's how he did it. Okay, so that's his natural spot. Now, can he create? Absolutely. Can he do this? Definitely. He could do that playmaking stuff. I'm not saying he's incapable, but I'm saying his natural position, according to the Knicks, the way they're looking at him. I mean, you would have thought at the end of the season last year, the way he was playing, there would be no question that we're talking about him as a backup point guard, but that's not the case. So to me, Quick is a combo guard. Deuce is a point guard. And they kept putting him off guard last year because Quick wanted the basketball when he was on the floor, which you can't blame him. But that's what he wanted. But Deuce is a point guard. Deuce is a tough dude. Former high school football player. Started to go to play college ball before he hurt himself. And now he decided on basketball. Smart move. And the dude is tough as nails. And he could shoot. He could do everything you want a point guard to do. Somebody asked me, what do you see in him? Whatever you see in Jalen Brunson is Deuce McBride. The only difference is Deuce is more athletic with a longer wingspan. That's all. Okay? Deuce is 4 years younger than Jalen. And I like that progression. I would like Deuce to get the keys now, but that ain't going to happen. Jalen Brunson got the keys. And he's going to have the keys for a minute. Okay? But it's a long season. And you need all your troops. Okay? So I don't know what's going to become of Deuce. I don't know. I'm telling you right now, he's just as good as Jalen Brunson. He's just 4 years younger. And Jalen Brunson 25, Deuce 21. They moving into 22, 26, But so I don't know what's going to happen after this summer league. I just know Deuce is going to show out. So is Grimes. So is Jericho Sims. Now we got, Keels, and then there's Montero and some other cats that are usual contingent. Amir Sims, our usual contingent of guys that are trying to make the team, get those G League contracts or get a spot on the roster. Your Farron Hunts of the world. They all going to be out there hustling. That's your normal stuff. And everybody got their favorites, of those guys. Keels, as I mentioned, was going to the G League. I told you when he got drafted, he was going to the G League. I think the Knicks, I just read that he signed a 2-way contract. That's about what we're going to expect from him. And I expect them, and I told y'all this before, to make Jericho Sims a regular roster spot. He's not going 2-way no more, except he just go to the G League to get some reps because you got Mitchell Robinson and now you got Isaiah Hartenstein, and both of them going to play. But again, it's a long season. So my man Jericho got to stay ready because he could be in at any time. So I'm expecting those guys to do it. But to me, it's Deuce time this summer league. He got the keys. There's no Emmanuel Quickley trying to prove himself to be a point guard. There's Deuce trying to prove himself to be a high-level NBA player. And I'm expecting him to do that. So this is going to be all good on this summer league. And I know everybody's hyping a different summer league. Like I want to see Detroit's summer league with Ivy. And I'm thinking Cade Cunningham going to play. He's he just finished his rookie year. He could play summer league. Maybe he won't. It's up to him. He's in that position because he plays heavy minutes. But Detroit's going to have an interesting summer league for sure. Okay. So it's going to be fun to watch some of these teams in the summer. Of course, there's Oklahoma City with Chet Holmgren and all that. And then there's Keegan Murray with the Kings. It's going to be an interesting summer to watch all of these guys in the summer league. But don't sleep on our Knicks and don't sleep on Deuce McBride. So I'm hyped to watch it. I won't be able to watch it Friday night, but I'm going to definitely watch the replay on ESPN2 or ESPN3, wherever it's going to be. And then, of course, going forward, we're going to be watching the Knicks in the summer league. Been waiting for this for a minute. So we'll be covering each game, going over each game in the summer league for the kids. Again, I don't know what's going to happen come the end of this summer. What the Knicks are going to do. I mean, if I am right and Deuce McBride busts it out and shows out in this summer league, the Knicks got decisions to make. And the reason is because you don't want to let a guy like that go if he's showing and he's going to be a killer, right? So, and you got him in the second round. It ain't like you paying him a ton of money. So Leon is cheap. We want to see how this works out. This is going to be interesting. Okay. So that's where we at. Taj Gibson, yesterday came out multiple teams interested in him, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they interested in him. It's up to him, really. And I'm hoping Taj stays with Tibbs. This is a Tibbs top thing, going back. So we might have to waive him and then bring him back, but they're going to do that. Okay. I'd like to bring him back as a mentor, as a coach type dude. And of course, he can still play a little bit. So, we got him as a backup 4. He hitting threes, and we got him as a backup 5. If we need it. We don't really need the 5 spots. We said we got 3 already. But as a backup 4, because you're going to have Obi and you're going to have Randle and, you have Taj if you need him. So I like that. And then, of course, he's the mentor as well, the vet mentor that you want on your team with a young team. So that's good. All right. So I'm excited about what's coming up. As far as Randle, we'll talk about him in a future video. He's a wild card, period. He is. He's a wild card. That's the wild card right there. The wild card is not who's going to get the ball. It's Jalen Brunson's basketball. Okay. RJ Barrett is a force that you cannot stop. He's growing. And what I mean by that is he's growing. And he's going to continue to grow. You cannot stop. It's like trying to stop a tree from growing. He's growing. And he's going to take that next step. And he's going to get his touches. So it's up to Julius how he responds to that, playing off the basketball. How he responds off ball. Does he move without the basketball? Does he pass the basketball? Does he, those are going to be, does he give 100% effort on every play on defense? Is Tom Thibodeau going to hold him accountable? Julius is the big question mark. That's the big question mark. If he has an attitude that he's going to contribute on both ends with his full athletic talent, the Knicks going to be good. Because he'll be the third option. And in that position, he's going to be really good. I'm telling you right now. If he has an attitude, if he's arguing with the refs all the time, if he's whining because of his touches, it's going to be a long season. He's the key. Okay? He's the key. And I don't like it because I can't tell you one way or the other which way he's going to go. I don't like it. I'd like to know what we got. Like with Obi Toppin, I know what I got. Jalen Brunson, I know what I got. RJ Barrett, I know what I got. I don't know mentally. Mentally is what I'm talking about. I don't know mentally. What do I have with Julius Randle? I don't know. And that is a sad commentary. That's what I'm saying. For us to have to ask, what are we going to get mentally out of Julius Randle? That's a problem right there. Okay? That in itself is a problem. If he comes out, like I said, we're going to know. Forget what he says. I don't care what the press conference, what he says. I want to see him play without arguing with the refs. I want to see him do more than wave or look when somebody's driving by him and he needs to rotate. I want to see him hustle back on defense like he does when he plays Anthony Davis. I want to see him move without the ball to get himself in the best position on the floor offensively to be successful. And if he doesn't have it, pass it quick. That's what I want to see from Julius. If we get all of that, no arguing with the refs, we're going to be really good this year. Trust. We're going to be really good. If we don't, it's going to be a problem. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about with regard to trading him. Because I don't know what we're getting. No. Is he an all-star level talent? It is obvious. He's been an all-star. He's been all NBA. He's got that physical gift. He's an NBA player. He got that. But is it here? I don't know. Okay. And I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish I did. I know that it appears, with Leon and Tom and them, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt for the most part. Although last year, Tom, for Tom Thibodeau, who jump in everybody's behind when he needs to, except Julius Randle. He turned a blind eye to whatever Julius does. Never held him accountable. And he would always talk to third parties about Julius. Like what I'm saying is we need to pass the ball more. He was talking to Julius Randle. We need to play both ends of the floor. He was talking to Julius Randle. We need to stop arguing with the refs. He was talking to Julius Randle. Why don't he just say that to him? That's the only problem. And Julius, for the most part last year, was aloof in terms of thinking he was different than the rest of the crew. We can't have that. But we're going to see. We're going to see this year. We're going to see. I hope we get good Julius. Because when good Julius is good, like I said, not arguing with the refs, keeping his mouth shut, playing both ends of the floor at 100% effort, passing the rock out of double teams quickly, especially when you got a Jalen Brunson now, and a fourth year RJ Barrett, who's going to be even higher now, moving into that strata with Jimmy Butler. That's where he's coming at age 22. Okay. We need Julius to be good Julius. If we get that, we're going to be in good shape, yo. Because as much as I hate, to have Obi coming off the bench again, you have a mob deep with him and Hartenstein and Cam. I like that, baby. We looking real good. Okay, so let's see what happens. But like I said, right now it's summer league. It's Deuce time. Let's enjoy. Be safe out there. So